Very good afternoon to all of you. Namaste, Namaskar, Assalamu alaikum. Hopefully, Sat Sri Akal or Vanakkam to everybody down there. As promised to you in the end, take a break for June, but we failed the promise. It's still June. We wanted to come back with some more things. So, welcome from Udma side. Today, the end of June, the cases keep rising, but not that it's important anymore. That subject is, it is what it is. क्या कर सकते हैं उसका? कुछ नहीं कर सकते. I'm happy that we had almost 400 registrations for this event. I see about 50, now 70 odd people join. More and more will come. So, as you all know, UDMA, we've been around for a long time. We're the Association for UPVC Window and Door Community, and we wanted to start the series again with knowledge because ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, सबके लिए ज़रूरी है, और उस point of view से we thought we start this time with a cost estimation, cost factor. How do you estimate the cost of your windows? We will also talk about what's the status of the industry today. We'll also try to touch light on the fact of, I can't say still post-corona because corona is still going on. So this is a mid-corona time, how the industry is shaping up, what's happening here. Plus, just to give you a bit update, we have been able to complete our guidelines for installation of doors and windows, which we will be releasing very, very shortly. We've also completed a lot of other work with the Bureau of Indian Standards for specifications. And what we will be doing from the month of July is we will be hosting webinars for the architectural building community, ताकि हम UDMA का tender specification पूरी industry तक ले जा सकें. Because I think what is lacking is the fact that every developer architect makes its own kind of specifications. So we have worked on that standardization, and pretty much we are close to that subject. So उससे क्या होगा कि if you are a UDMA member, if you are not an UDMA member, please apply for your membership straight away. It's now free for all the manufacturers. You will only have to pay once the UDMA certification program starts, which I guess Mario will talk about a little bit, when that will happen, how that will happen. Because uske liye the TUV and the IFT have to visit the factories. That still date is still, I guess we will know that in the process of time. So today from our team of UDMA, we have Mario Schmidt, our president, and he's always wearing the UDMA t-shirt. I think the quality of the UDMA t-shirt depicts the standard of UDMA. With this t-shirt, Mario and me both would have got about the same time in Goa, I think 2 years ago, Mario.
2017.
Yeah. 17. So we have watched it. I would have watched it a few times, but Mario would have watched it a few hundred times and still remains intact. I guess so. So it keeps quiet. Manish Bansal joins us from the UDMA committee as well, the managing director of Window Magic and a well-known personality in this feature. We're also joined by Shobita, who is from our skill development program and the co-creator of Dr. Window and the program and all that you have seen in the past. I thank team WFM Media for letting us host this webinar, and Ankit from team UDMA to have been as the part from the back, and Kapil from team WFM India to have helped us with all the organization. So we've touched the number 100, which is good. We expect a few more 100 people to join. Hopefully it's a Saturday afternoon. I don't know what else something could be doing, because every Saturday and Sunday and Monday still seems the same. Nothing really changes. Offices are still closed, factories are still working. People are going. I was out in the market a couple of days. I keep going out and seeing people are back in the markets, people are doing stuff. But just one more thing before I pass it on to the team to take off. Unfortunately, the cities which are mostly affected is Delhi NCR, Mumbai and Chennai, which sees the highest number of cases. But for all the other cities, things seem to be coming either back to normal or same status. So business is coming back. I can tell you from a perspective of McCoy and all the businesses that I run, that a lot of people in the UPVC sector are back to business. They are placing orders, they are doing their installation, of course, with safety and so on. And if that was in May, 10%, in June, I can say that's maybe 40%, 30%. So that's a positive upward movement from zero. I hope only that July things will be better. And my personal prediction is this corona is gone by the end of July. End of it, salah khatam. out of this fucking world, and hopefully we can get back to. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the strongest belief. Every day before I sleep, I go out, I get myself a smoke, and I say, dude, this is over now. 15th to 30th July is your deadline. Corona auntie, get out of here, and make sure that all of us can, get back to work, get back to building it right, and coming back to awareness. So with that, I ask Mario and Manish to take on the presentation going forward. Mario, Manish, over to you guys.
Manish, can you start? Then I make after that. I'll start with the Fabio.
Hello guys. Here we are with the session on explaining on about how to calculate your prices for the window, because as we normally see, the prices quoted are not right. So what we want you all to understand is that how to really calculate the price of a right window. What all really goes inside? Are you talking about right amount of wastages? Do you talk about wastages about profile? Do you talk about wastages upon glass? There are many quotes which we come across, and where the fabricator does not know that what price he needs to quote to the end consumer. What all has to go inside? Because normally he just thinks, let me just take 5 meters of profile, some hardware and some glass, and let me make up the quote and give it to you. So what really happens? It really dents your profit. So at the end of the day, when you make your balance sheet, you see you don't earn anything, because the point is that wherein you don't make the quote right. If you make the quote right, sell the window right, you will get a good amount of profit, and the window will also be good. At the end, the customer is happy and you are happy. Let's hear it from Mario and Shobita how they want to explain that what all really goes inside the window. Over to Mario.
Okay. Very good afternoon, everyone. I would like to ask, is my screen visible? Cost factor screen is visible?
Yes.
So, my dear friends, good afternoon. This presentation we are running actually since a couple of years, and still we are in the opinion this is the very most important thing, so that I know what Manish just said, the right product, the right specification is reaching, and in the end of the year, I don't need to be surprised why it is not there. We are doing today the presentation in 2 languages. Usually we went to Tamil Nadu, there it was in Tamil, or in Bangalore, it was in Kannada, and so many other areas we spoke always the local language. Today we have decided we make it in English, short by me, and then more in detail in Hindi by Shobita. Cost factor, what is important? Every year we are having the good luck that new people are entering our industry, and we have the sad situation that people are just dropping out. And whoever closes the factory, there is a broken dream, there is a financial loss, and there are many, many customers which are just stuck in the midway so that the project isn't completed. That's why we have made this flower of the points, which should be considered a part of the material to calculate the right window. We have the fabrication cost, we have, of course, the overheads in factory, we have the fabrication loss, we have the collection loss, we have how to finance our stock, how to finance our outstanding, and what is about depreciation of our plant and machineries. Shobita, please.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So cost factor. हमारे प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में एक्चुअली कितना कॉस्ट लग रही है, जब तक हमें इसकी जानकारी नहीं होगी तब तक हम एक्चुअल प्राइसिंग कर ही नहीं सकते. आपको पता होता है कि आपका हार्डवेयर कितने का है, प्रोफाइल कितने का है, ग्लास कितने का है, लेकिन इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारी कॉस्ट होती हैं जो हमें दिखाई नहीं देती. आपको लगता है कि आपके विंडोज को आप अच्छे मार्जिन पर सेल कर रहे हो, अच्छा प्रॉफिट बना रहे हो, लेकिन ये मार्जिन और प्रॉफिट कभी आपके बैंक अकाउंट में शो ही नहीं होता, क्योंकि इन प्रॉफिट और मार्जिन को हमारी हिडन कॉस्ट खा जाती हैं. और इसी कारण हर साल बहुत सारी यूपीवीसी विंडो फैक्ट्रीज बंद हो जाती हैं. तो ये जो कुछ कारण है वो है फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट, ओवरहेड कॉस्ट, फैब्रिकेशन लॉस, कलेक्शन लॉस, फाइनेंस स्टॉक, फाइनेंस आउटस्टैंडिंग एंड डेप्रिसिएशन. अब हम इसको डिटेल में आगे देखते हैं. ओवर टू यू मारियो सर.
So, as per our survey, our industry size, the average company in India, our business has around 20 workers. And the 20 workers are getting an average salary of 11,600. Now it is you to judge if it is already on the lower side or on the higher side, or when we consider the mix, it is quite okay when we consider the helpers as well as the main technicians. On top of it, we are adding 25,000 rupees for your supervisor, There again, you will be the right judge in knowing, are you paying the same amount or paying a lower amount? But in total, we are reaching on direct cost on the product of 2,57,000. Show it up.
फैक्ट्री में जो वर्कर्स काम करते हैं जो डायरेक्टली प्रोडक्शन से जुड़े होते हैं, यहाँ पे हम उनकी कॉस्ट निकाल रहे हैं। एक फैक्ट्री में औसतन 20 वर्कर काम करते हैं जो प्रोडक्शन, डिस्पैच या स्टोर से हो सकते हैं। इनकी औसतन जो सैलरी है वो हम मान रहे हैं 11,600 रुपए। हालांकि असलियत में ज्यादा होती है, बट हम इसको अभी एक लोअर साइड पे मान रहे हैं। यहाँ पे आप अपने वर्कर्स की एक्चुअल सैलरी भी कंसिडर कर सकते हैं। सो 11,600 को जब हम 20 से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो हमें मिलता है वर्कर का पूरा सैलरी जो है 2,32,000 रुपए। इन 20 वर्कर्स के ऊपर आमतौर पर एक सुपरवाइजर होता है जिसकी औसतन सैलरी होती है 25,000 रुपए। यहाँ पर आप अपने सुपरवाइजर की एक्चुअल सैलरी भी कंसिडर कर सकते हैं। तो वर्कर्स और सुपरवाइजर की सैलरी को जब हम जोड़ते हैं तो हमें मिलता है 2,57,000 रुपए का कुल वेतन प्रति महीना। ओवर टू यू मारियो सर।
So now we need a place to get the windows fabricated, because what is the USP of our industry? That it is not an on-site fabrication, it is a fabrication in a setup. And the point what Manish always rightly mentioned, we are manufacturer. We are not just fabricator or contractor. We have a manufacturing unit where we are producing an industrialized product. Therefore, our 20 people on an average, we need 1,000 square meter at an average rent at 12 rupees. Again, judge yourself, are you paying 12 rupees, paying less or more? It reaches to 1.3 lakh in a month, plus an average electricity consumption of 50,000, reached to 1.8 lakh cost of manufacturing overheads. Now you can say it's my own unit. I don't need to pay rent to anyone, but maybe for the same unit, you are running an EMI which you have to pay to the bank. And even if this is not the case, you should still consider it, because renting out the unit for 1.3 lakh to someone else, you can lie down the whole day in the bed getting 1.3 lakh and don't have to come into our hassle business. In total, we have 2.57 lakh labor fabrication costs. We have our direct manufacturing overheads of 1.8 lakh, coming to a direct fabrication cost of 4.37 lakh per month. Shobita.
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड्स, सैलरीज यानी वेतन के अलावा भी प्रोडक्शन फ्लोर में और भी कॉस्ट लगती है जिन्हें हम कहते हैं प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स। इसमें पहला आता है हमारा शॉप फ्लोर का कॉस्ट। अगर हम माने कि एक फैक्ट्री का एरिया 1000 स्क्वायर मीटर है और उसका रेंट 12 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट है, तो उसका कुल किराया होगा 1,30,000 रुपए प्रति महीना। अगर फैक्ट्री आपकी खुद की है तो या तो आप EMI देते होगे, और अगर आप EMI भी नहीं देते और पूरा लैंड और फैक्ट्री आपका है, तो फिर हमारी सलाह है कि इतना पेन और टेंशन लेने से बेटर है कि आप अपनी फैक्ट्री को किराए पे देकर 1,30,000 के रेंट से एंजॉय करें। सो अब हम आते हैं कंजप्शन पे। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंजप्शन को मान रहे हैं 50,000 रुपीज पर मंथ, और अगर हम इन दोनों को टोटल कर देते हैं तो हमारे पास आता है 1,80,000। अब हम निकालते हैं टोटल फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट। लेबर कॉस्ट जो हमने लास्ट स्लाइड से निकाला था 2,57,000 प्लस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड्स 1,80,000, तो टोटल फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट हमारे यहाँ पे आती है 4,37,000। ओवर टू यू सर।
So now the point comes what most of the companies are not considering at all. I do have 365 calendar days in a year. Minus Sundays, 52, comes to 313 days where I actually have to pay salaries to my workers, and where the salaries are, the workers are there. Minus the number of paid leaves as well as holidays. I have almost 10, 11 holidays in a year, plus 20, 25 holidays on paid leave, which I have to give to my workers. Coming to an actual time where they are there for 275 days. Now, it would be an ideal situation to believe that 100% I can able to engage my workers all the time. Maybe my production sheets are not ready, the material is coming in a delay, or I don't have orders off tech with me, but at the same time, I have to keep my stuff with me. So we presume that at least 25% of your time is actually not utilized, and you can't actually charge this time from your customers. So that in total, we have an output of 206 days only per year. Now, 313 days per year, which I have to pay the salaries to my worker, and 206 days where they're actually working means I have a productivity from only 66% compared to the cost what I have to pay. Shubhida.
एक साल में टोटल दिन होते हैं 365। अगर हम इसमें से संडेज को निकाल देते हैं तो हमें मिलते हैं नंबर ऑफ पे डेज, यानी वो दिन जिनके लिए हम एक्चुअली पे कर रहे हैं, जो है 313। अगर हम इन पेड डेज में से पेड लीव्स निकाल देते हैं तो हमारे पास आते हैं नंबर ऑफ एक्चुअल वर्किंग डेज, यानी वो दिन जिनमें वर्कर एक्चुअली काम करता है, जो है 275। पर किन्हीं अनचाहे कारणों से, जैसे पर्याप्त रॉ मटेरियल का ना होना या मेजरमेंट में डिले हो जाना या किसी मशीन का खराब हो जाना, एक्चुअल आउटपुट हमेशा एक्चुअल वर्किंग डेज से कम ही होता है। यहाँ पे हम मान रहे हैं कि एक्चुअल वर्किंग डेज का 75% ही एक्चुअल आउटपुट हो पाता है, जो हमारा निकल रहा है 206। दैट मीन्स कि अगर हम 313 दिन पे कर रहे हैं तो उसमें से हम एक्चुअल 206 ही दिन बंदा काम कर रहा है। तो यहाँ पे हम निकालते हैं एक्चुअल परसेंटेज, जो है एक्चुअल आउटपुट वर्किंग डेज 206 डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ पे डेज 313, दैट इज इक्वल्स टू 66%। यानी अगर आप अपने वर्कर से 100 स्क्वायर फीट काम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो आपको सिर्फ 66 स्क्वायर फीट काम ही मिलेगा। ओवर टू यू सर।
So now we consider two business wings, retail as well as projects. We know when I'm in projects, I have easy windows which are getting replicated, making one window or 100 windows at the same design. My speed is much faster. From our research and our experience, we know that one worker in a unit of 20 people where we have only semi or no automation, I can make 730 square feet per worker maximum. Considering my 66% of my actual output, it means 480 square feet per worker per month. Multiply my 20 workers what I have, it means in total I will be able to make 9,600 square feet a month if I'm in retail business. When I'm in the project business, it would be the double, 1,450 square feet with 66% of actual output comes to 960 square feet, comes in total, multiply 20 worker to 19,200 square feet per month. Now, having the actual cost of worker salaries and rent of 4.37 lakh divided my 9,300 square feet which I'm producing in a month, I'm reaching there itself to 46 rupees per square feet fabrication cost. And in project, when I'm going to make the double area of 19,200, having the same costs in place, 4.37 lakh, comes to 23 rupees per square feet actual fabrication cost. Shubhida.
हमारे इंडस्ट्री में हम दो टाइप से काम करते हैं, एक रिटेल साइट्स में और एक प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स में। प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स में हमेशा स्पीड फास्ट होती है क्योंकि वहां पे हमारी विंडोज ऑलमोस्ट सेम होती है, एक ही जगह काम चल रहा होता है, तो वहां पे हमेशा ज्यादा काम कर पाते हैं। तो हम मानते हैं कि रिटेल साइट्स में एक वर्कर अगर 100% आउटपुट देता है तो वो एक महीने में 730 स्क्वायर फीट काम करता है। 100% का मतलब है वो संडेज को और पेड लीव्स को भी काम कर रहा है और किन्हीं भी अनचाहे कारणों से उसकी काम की स्पीड में काम फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, परंतु ये इम्पॉसिबल है। तो लास्ट स्लाइड में हमने देखा है कि एक्चुअल आउटपुट पर वर्कर सिर्फ 66% ही आता है। तो यहाँ पर हमारा पॉसिबल आउटपुट है 730 स्क्वायर फीट, जिसमें से कि हमारा बैठ रहा है 66% 480 स्क्वायर फीट। अगर हम इसको 20 वर्कर से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो हमारा टोटल स्क्वायर फीट आ रहा है 9600 स्क्वायर फीट। वही प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर टोटल आउटपुट है हमारा 1450 और इसका 66% आ रहा है 960 स्क्वायर फीट। अगर हम इसको 20 वर्कर से इंटू करते हैं तो हमारा टोटल स्क्वायर फीट एरिया आ रहा है 19200 स्क्वायर फीट। अब हम निकालते हैं फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट पर स्क्वायर फीट। उसके लिए है हमारा टोटल कॉस्ट जो हमने लास्ट स्लाइड में निकाला था 4,37,000, उसको हम डिवाइड करें टोटल आउटपुट से 9600 और ये है 46 स्क्वायर फीट फॉर रिटेल साइट्स। लेकिन प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स के अंदर कॉस्ट दोनों के अंदर सेम ही रहेगी, तो हमारा कॉस्ट है 4,37,000 डिवाइड बाय 19,200, तो यहाँ पे हमारा एडिशनल कॉस्ट आ रहा है 23 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट। टू यू सर।
So now to showcase that you can describe yourself with your current business model when you are working mostly in retail or mostly working in project at 500 rupees per square feet average sales in the market and an area of 9,600 which you are able to achieve with your 20 workers, your monthly turnover must be around 48 lakh. In project, of course, it is too low, but the prices unfortunately are like this: 325 rupees per square feet multiply your 19,000 square feet, which you are able to do, you are landing up in making a monthly turnover of around 62.4 lakh. These figures are just now only our assumption, which we are taking forward in the later calculation, but there itself on the figure you will see how your turnover is going to increase or decrease, depends on the square feet area which you are able to achieve in the market. Shubhida.
इस स्लाइड से आप रेफरेंस ले सकते हैं कि क्या आपका मंथली टर्नओवर इससे मैच होता है या नहीं होता। फॉर एग्जांपल रिटेल साइट्स के अंदर अगर आप 500 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट के रेट से काम कर रहे हैं और एरिया है 9,600 का, तो आपका मंथली टर्नओवर आ रहा है 48 लाख रुपए का। वहीं प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर अगर आप 325 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट के रेट से काम कर रहे हैं और एरिया है आपका 19,200 स्क्वायर फीट, तो आपका मंथली टर्नओवर रीच हो रहा है 62,40,000 रुपए का। अगर आपका टर्नओवर इससे ज्यादा है तो डेफिनेटली आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। ओवर टू यू।
So now coming to our factory overheads, I have usually an office team of 3 people paying 50,000 rupees salary. Maybe I'm having only 2 people at 25k each, and I have a sales team with 3 people whom I'm paying in total maybe 80,000. I have only 2 people with 40,000 where I'm reaching 80,000. Marketing cost 32,000, which is very less for flyers. Maybe you run a showroom, you make some sample windows, or you want to participate in an exhibition. This is very much on the lower side per month. And other costs to run your office, that you have your computer, your stationaries, and what else is there to run an office to make the equipment completed. We are only adding 1.87 lakh in a month. And this divided our square feet area, which we can actually achieve. 1.87 in retail divided our 9,600 is coming to 19 rupees per square feet. And in project, our 1.87 divided 19,200 square feet is coming to an add-on of 10 rupees per square feet on your fabrication cost. Shobhita.
प्रोडक्शन को छोड़ के भी हमारे पास बहुत सारी कॉस्ट होती हैं जो एड ऑन होती रहती है, बट जिन पे हम ध्यान नहीं देते वो है हमारे ओवरहेड्स। जैसे ऑफिस टीम, जिसपे हम लोग यहाँ पे मान रहे हैं हमारे पास 3 एम्प्लॉइज हैं और जिनकी एवरेज सैलरी है 50,000 रुपए। फिर हमारा सेल्स टीम, जिनमें हमने यहाँ माना है 3 एम्प्लॉइज हैं और उनकी सैलरी बैठ रही है 80,000 रुपए। मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट, आपके ब्रोशर्स, फ्लायर्स, बैनर्स और एग्जीबिशंस, इनकी हम कॉस्ट मान रहे हैं 32,000 रुपए। और जो भी एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट होती है टू रन द ऑफिस, जो हम मान रहे हैं 25,000 रुपए। इन सब का एडिशन करें तो हमारे पास आई रहे हैं टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ 1,87,000 रुपीज। तो रिटेल के अंदर अगर हम पर स्क्वायर फीट कॉस्ट निकालें तो ये आ रही है हमारी टोटल कॉस्ट 187,000 को डिवाइड करें 9600 से, तो हमारे पास आ रहे हैं 19 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट का एडिशनल कॉस्ट रिटेल के लिए। और प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर 1,87,000 डिवाइड बाय 19,200 रुपीज 10 पर स्क्वायर फीट। मतलब रिटेल साइट्स में आपको ऐड करनी पड़ेगी 19 रुपए और प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स में आपको ऐड करनी पड़ेगी 10 रुपए की कॉस्ट। टू यू सर।
Now, unexpected losses. 2%. You may say it is damn high, but question from my side, are you noting down all of them? My request, advice, do it for 1 year, and you will see when you are reaching your 2%, you don't even feel that something went wrong during the year. And maybe you will really reach much higher. And there's the first point where you personally see that some improvement has to happen on your unit. Production mistake. I'm cutting the wrong size. I'm cutting the wrong profile. I'm cutting the wrong color. Something is going wrong. Measurement mistake. I'm taking the wrong size. I'm writing down the wrong size. Something reached there in a wrong design, which the customer hasn't approved. Transport damage, of course, more important during the retail sites, but even to projects, I have the transport damage while maybe lifting and shifting my material. Site damage. I'm installing my material at site, and then all out of sudden, I'm leaving the site because my window is completed. Until the time of the handing over, something is going to happen, and I couldn't hand over the site before. Of course, all this loss is going to count into my account only. Loss due to handover delay. This is the major problem in our industry. The moment we hand over, the moment we finish our work is when all the interior works are starting. But the moment we are actually getting the handover, this is the point of time when the customer is going to shift into his flat. And there depends on the site, which is not in your control. It takes too much of a time, and during this time, anything can get damaged. Now coming back to our previous table, what we have shown, if you are able to achieve 500 rupees per square feet in retail with 9,600 rupees of a square feet area, and your monthly turnover will be 48 lakh in a month, your loss per month will be 96,000 rupees, and in project your loss would be 1,24,000 rupees, which sound maybe a lot, but over a year it is definitely going to happen. It will add on 10 rupees per square feet in the retail business and 6.5 rupees for your project business to your cost. Shobhita.
अनएक्सपेक्टेड लॉसेस, हमारी इंडस्ट्री में लॉसेस बहुत ही कॉमन है और हम कितना भी चाहे इनको जीरो नहीं कर पाते, जैसे कि हमारा प्रोडक्शन मिस्टेक, गलत साइज की विंडो बन जाना, मेजरमेंट मिस्टेक, मेजरमेंट लेते वक्त रॉन्ग फिगर्स नोट कर लेना, यानी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन डैमेज, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के दौरान विंडो या ग्लास का टूट जाना, साइड डैमेज, जैसे साइड पे स्टोर्ड मटेरियल का डैमेज हो जाना, जैसे स्क्रैच इन द ग्लास और विंडो पे स्क्रैच लग जाना। सो ये जो हमारे सारे फैक्टर्स हैं, ये अप्रोक्सीमेटली टर्नओवर का 2% लॉस बैर करते हैं। अगर हम देखें तो रिटेल साइट्स पे, जहाँ पे हमारा स्क्वायर फीट रेट है 500 रुपए का और एरिया है 9,600, वहां हमारा टर्नओवर आ रहा है 48 लाख रुपए। इसका 2% है हमारा प्रोजेक्ट लॉस, जो आ रहा है 96,000 रुपए। अगर हम इसको डिवाइड करते हैं एरिया से, तो हमें मिलती है हमारी पर स्क्वायर फीट प्रोजेक्ट लॉस, दैट इज 10 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट। नाउ लेट्स कम टू प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स, जहाँ पे हम रेट कर रहे हैं 225 रुपए से और एरिया है हमारा 19,200। यह हमारा टर्नओवर बैठ रहा है 62,40,000 रुपए का। इसका 2% प्रोजेक्ट लॉस बैठता है 1,24,800 रुपए। अगर हम इसको डिवाइड करते हैं टोटल एरिया से, तो हमें मिलता है 6.5 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट कॉस्ट। सो रिटेल के अंदर हम कॉस्ट ऐड करेंगे 10 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट और प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हम ऐड करेंगे 6.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट। ओवर टू यू सर।
Non-performing assets collection loss. Again, we are considering only 2%. You may say it's again extremely high, or you will say I'm losing definitely much more money in the market because of various reasons. Bill deduction without clarification. You are supplying to a project, you are getting regularly paid, and in the end, we have the situation you are asking for payment. The site will say, I have sent everything to the headquarter. The headquarter will say, I have paid everything as per the site. And now there is a big gap in between, and you understand that someone has worked on your bills without informing you. You have already paid the tax amount on the full amount, and then months or years later, it is also very difficult to explain or to find out what was the reason for this kind of invoice deduction. Non-payment due to project shutdown in the midway. This is a very crucial point which can in 1 year create a big loss to you. You are full swing working on a project and it just slow down. And then whatever you have supplied, you are just financing the project and you are not getting your money out. This can be a big hit, but in overall, we are considering only 2% over here. Additional discount to be given to close the deal during the handing over. Someone will say, you take this 5 lakh or 10 lakh and you give me 3% more. Then I would like to see the person who says, no, and step away without taking the check. Of course, we are going to take the final payment. And so we have certain amount which we simply have to write off. And one more crucial point, additional discounts to be given because of faults on the product. There's a scratching clause. We know this material has reached without scratches. Who has made the scratch? There's a scratch on the profile. We know the material has reached without scratches, but where the scratch was there. But then instead of making the complete unit new or to replacing the entire glass, we are asking or we are requesting or we are in total agreeing to a certain amount of a deduction to close the site and without a big financial loss while replacing the entire unit. Here it is very important, my message all the time, make your site supervisor your site accountants. Follow your bill from the gate to the store to the site accounts of it till it goes to the head office, and in the head office you also follow so that no deduction out of your knowledge is going to happen on your invoices, because overall it is going to create a loss. And with this 2%, we have to add the same figures. We have to add 10 rupees per square feet for retail and 6.5 rupees for project, which is definitely a loss, which is there with all of us. Shobhita.
Okay. Non-performing assets, जैसे कि बिना बताए बिल में डिडक्शंस कर देना। जब कोई बड़ी साइट्स होती हैं, वहां पर जब हम पेमेंट लेने जाते हैं तो समटाइम्स वो बोलते हैं कि हेडक्वार्टर से पैसा नहीं आया, एंड इफ यू गो टू साइट एंड फिर हेडक्वार्टर वाले बोलते हैं कि हम लोगों ने साइट पे पैसा दे दिया, बट एट द एंड घूम घूम के वो लोग हमारा ही पैसा काट के देते हैं, बट हम लोग उसको रिसीव कर ही लेते हैं। कितने ही प्रोजेक्ट्स में अचानक किसी कारण बंद हो जाते हैं, जिससे कि हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड टर्नओवर तो कम हो ही जाता है, साथ ही जो हमारे इंस्टॉल्ड विंडो होती है उनका पेमेंट हमें कभी नहीं मिलता। कभी कभी हमें लास्ट मोमेंट पे डील क्लोज करने के लिए एडिशनल डिस्काउंट देने पड़ते हैं। जैसे क्लाइंट ने बोल दिया कि अगर आपको इतने का चेक लेना है तो लो, वरना इट्स ओके, लेकिन हमें फिर वो चेक रिसीव करना ही पड़ता है। कभी कभी क्लाइंट फाइनल पेमेंट के दौरान बोल देता है कि आपकी विंडो में तो स्क्रैच लगा हुआ है, हालांकि वो स्क्रैच शायद हमारी फैक्ट्री से नहीं गया होता, बट स्टिल हम लोगों को डील क्लोज करने के लिए उसको और एडिशनल डिस्काउंट देना पड़ता है। तो ये सब फैक्टर्स है जो हैं वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली हमारे टर्नओवर का 2% लॉस कॉज कर देते हैं। तो अब हम टेबल पर देखते हैं कि रिटेल साइट्स में जिसमें हम 500 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट से काम कर रहे हैं, 9,600 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया के लिए, वह हमारा टर्नओवर है 48 लाख रुपए। तो हमारे एनपीएस आ रहे हैं 2%, जो कि है 96,000 रुपए, और इसको डिवाइड करते हैं हम एरिया से, तो हमें मिलता है हमारा पर स्क्वायर फीट एनपीए लॉस, जो आ रहा है ₹10। और प्रोजेक्ट्स के अंदर जहां हमारा टर्नओवर है 62,40,000 रुपए, वह हमारे एनपीएस आ रहे हैं 1,24,800 रुपए, और इनको हम जब डिवाइड करते हैं एरिया से तो हमारे पास आ रहे हैं पर स्क्वायर फीट एनपीए लॉस 6.5 रुपए का। सो रिटेल के अंदर हम एडिशनल कॉस्ट कर रहे हैं ₹10 की, और प्रोजेक्ट्स के अंदर हम कॉस्ट कर रहे हैं 6.5 की। Over to you, sir.
Cost of finance. Here we are talking about who is going to pay our store and inventory when I have already paid the invoices towards my supplier. Again, when we have in total retail turnover of 48 lakh in a month, project turnover 62 lakh in a month, we presume at a minimum inventory, and I know it is almost impossible to work at 75% of a 1 month's turnover as an inventory. It would be in retail 48 lakh is just 36 lakh, and in project 62 lakh would be just 46 lakh of your current inventory what you are keeping. Considering that you are running it on an OD limit and you are paying every year 12% interest to the bank, it means on 36 lakh, 12% is 4.3 lakh, divided 12 months becomes to 36,000 per month, divided your square feet area is becoming to 4 rupees per square feet, which we have to add on the entire product. For project where it is just the double, on the end, I'm landing up and adding another 2 rupees per square feet on the finance cost. But even this cost, since it is actually really there, should not be forgotten to add into our costing. 4 rupees for retail and 2 rupees for project. Shobhita.
फाइनेंस कॉस्ट रिटेल साइट्स के अंदर जो हमारा टर्नओवर है, मंथली टर्नओवर है 48 लाख रुपए का, वह हमारा स्टॉक इन्वेंट्री है 75%, जो हमने लोअर साइड पे लिया है, जो आ रहा है हमारा 36 लाख रुपए का। इसमें हम पर ईयर का जो बैंक इंटरेस्ट पे कर रहे हैं वो है 4,32,000 का, एंड इफ यू डिवाइडेड बाय 12, अगर हम इसको 12 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास पर मंथ कॉस्ट आ रही है 36,000 रुपए की। इसको हम और एरिया से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारा फाइनेंस कॉस्ट आ रहा है 4 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट। प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हमारा टोटल टर्नओवर है 62,40,000 रुपए, जहां हमारी स्टॉक इन्वेंट्री है 40,80,000 रुपए। इस पे अगर हम 12% से निकालते हैं तो हमारा आ रहा है 5,61,600 रुपए। इसको हम डिवाइड बाय 12 करते हैं तो हमारा मंथली एक्सपेंस आ जाता है 40,800 रुपए का। फिर हम इसको एरिया से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारा फाइनेंस कॉस्ट आ रहा है 2 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट। सो रिटेल के अंदर हम जो ऐड करते हैं फाइनेंस कॉस्ट वो है 4 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट, और प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हम ऐड करते हैं 2 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट। ओवर टू यू सर।
Financing of the outstanding. I have the money in books, but I don't have it in our account because the projects are not handing over or getting delayed. Now again, with a monthly turnover in retail, 48 lakh, project turnover 62 lakh, multiply 12 comes to 4.3 crore in retail and 7.48 crore in projects, having an annual outstanding of only 15%. Who is able to do this? I don't know. Only 15% would mean you have all the time 64, 65 lakh in the market if you're working in retail, and 1.1 crore in the market if you're working in projects. Now again here, since we have to finance it, since the money is not with us, but the costs related to the product had to be paid, and on a 12% annual bank limit, it becomes to 7.7 lakh cost for retail and 13.5 lakh cost for project. Divided 12 and divided your area, what we are producing in a month, it leads us that we have to add on 7 rupees per square feet for retail and 6 rupees per square feet in projects. Shobhita.
फाइनेंस आउटस्टैंडिंग, ये वो पैसा है जो हमारे बुक्स में तो रिफ्लेक्ट करता है लेकिन हमारे अकाउंट्स में नहीं होता। सो रिटेल के अंदर जहां हमारा पर मंथ टर्नओवर है 48 लाख रुपए का, वहां पर हमारा एनुअल टर्नओवर है 4 करोड़ 32 लाख रुपए का। यहाँ पे हम मिनिमम आउटस्टैंडिंग मान रहे हैं 15%, जो कि बहुत ज्यादा कम है। ये है हमारे 64,80,000 रुपए। तो ये पैसा हमारे पास एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा फिलहाल, तो इसलिए हम इस पे इंटरेस्ट पे कर रहे हैं, जो कि हमारा आ रहा है 12%, 7,77,600। तो इसको अगर हम 12 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारी निकलती है मंथली कॉस्ट 64,800 रुपए की। इसको अगर हम एरिया से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास आ रही है हमारी 7 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट की आउटस्टैंडिंग कॉस्ट। वहीं प्रोजेक्ट साइट्स के अंदर जहां हमारा मंथली टर्नओवर है 62,40,000 रुपए का और एनुअल टर्नओवर है 7,48,80,000 रुपए का, वहां पे हमारी मिनिमम आउटस्टैंडिंग बैटरी है 15%, जो कि है 1,12,32,000 रुपए। इसको हम 12% इंटरेस्ट से निकाल रहे हैं तो हमारे पास आ रहा है 13,47,840 रुपए। इसको हम मंथली निकालने के लिए 12 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास आ रहा है 1,12,320 रुपए। इसको फर्दर अगर हम एरिया से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास आ रही है हमारी 6 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट की कॉस्ट। सो रिटेल के अंदर जो हम फाइनेंस आउटस्टैंडिंग कॉस्ट ऐड कर रहे हैं वो है 7 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट की, और प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हम ऐड कर रहे हैं 6 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट की। ओवर टू यू सर।
So now this is definitely almost no one is considering depreciation. I'll have my investment, I'll take my loan or at my saving, and I'm investing in plant and machinery. Ideally, 10% of your annual turnover should be your minimum investment in plant and machinery, considering at the factory size of just 20 workers and you're on startup, maybe 5% will make it to start with. And even there, when we look at a proposed turnover of 4 crore in retail and 7.5 crore on project, it would mean we are trying to start our unit with 21 lakh of investment and for 37.4 lakh of an investment in projects. Usually when you go for a good equipped one machine is even costing more than this amount. But overall, as we know that when you make only this kind of a square feet, this kind of a setup of 20 lakh and 37 lakh may be sufficient to start with. So that's why we are considering these amounts. A machinery lifetime, if you buy the smallest scrap machine, will be damaged after 1 year. Machinery lifetime, I think 10 years, then we are really good. We are considering here at the moment 7 years of lifetime of the machineries. So it would mean my 21 lakh investment divided 7 years, reaching to 4 lakh per year, divided 12 is 34,000, divided square feet area, reaching to another 3.5 lakh rupees per square feet depreciation cost, what I have to add on. And similar in project, when my investment was 37 lakh, divided in 7 years usage of the machineries, comes to 44,000 per month, divided your square feet area, comes to 2.5 lakh, 2.5 rupees per square feet, what I have to add. Depreciation cost in retail, 3.5 rupees per square feet, depreciation cost in project, 2.5 rupees needs to be added on the total cost. Shobhita.
डेप्रिसिएशन, प्लांट और मशीनरी की वैल्यू टाइम और यूज के साथ कम होती जाती है, उसे हम डेप्रिसिएशन बोलते हैं। ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है, लेकिन ज्यादातर मैन्युफैक्चरर्स इसकी कॉस्ट ऐड करना भूल जाते हैं। तो यहाँ पे हम मान रहे हैं कि इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑन मशीनरी 5% है। आइडियली ये 10% होना चाहिए, बट नए स्टार्टअप्स में जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स होते हैं वो बहुत ही कॉन्शियस होते हैं अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट को लेके, इसीलिए हम इसको मान रहे हैं कि वो 5% ही होगा। सो रिटेल्स के अंदर अगर एनुअल टर्नओवर आपका 4 करोड़ 32 लाख है, यहाँ पे आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट है 5%, जो कि 21,60,000। एवरेज जो हमारी मशीनरी की लाइफ होती है वो 1 से लेकर 10 साल तक होती है, लेकिन यहाँ पे हम कंसिडर कर रहे हैं कि वो 7 इयर्स है। तो फिर अगर हम 21,60,000 को डिवाइड करते हैं 7 से, तो हमारे पास आता है 4,11,000। अब हम निकालते हैं डेप्रिसिएशन पर मंथ। इसके लिए हम इस वैल्यू को 12 से डिवाइड कर देंगे, तो हमारे पास आ रहा है 34,285। फिर उसको फर्दर हम डिवाइड करते हैं एरिया से, तो हमारे पास निकलती है हमारी डेप्रिसिएशन कॉस्ट रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट, वो है 3.5। वही प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर जो हमारा एनुअल टर्नओवर है 7 करोड़ 48 लाख, तो हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट बैठ रहा है 5%, जो कि है 37,44,000। और हमारी 7 इयर्स की जो फिर हम उसको डिवाइड करते हैं 7 से, तो हमारे पास डेप्रिसिएशन पर ईयर निकल रहा है 5,34,000 और पर मंथ है 44,571। फिर हम इसको एरिया से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास आ रही है हमारी 2.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट की डेप्रिसिएशन कॉस्ट। सो रिटेल के अंदर हम जो कॉस्ट ऐड करेंगे वह 3.5 और प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हम कॉस्ट ऐड करेंगे 2.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट। ओवर टू यू सर।
So friends, where have we reached? We have added actually a lot. Let's see again. Fabrication cost, retail, 46 rupees per square feet. Project, 23 rupees per square feet. Overheads, direct factory overheads, 19 rupees per square feet in retail and 10 rupees per square feet in project. Fabrication loss, 10 rupees in retail, 6.5 rupees in project. Non-performing asset, it means late or non-payment, another 10 rupees in retail and 6.5 rupees in project. Financing your stock, 4 rupees in retail and 2 rupees in project. Financing of your outstanding, 7 rupees in retail and 6 rupees in projects. The depreciation on your machineries, 3.2 rupees in retail and 2.5 rupees in project, leads us to a total amount of fabrication cost, everything except material. No material considered, no transport cost considered, no installation considered, at 99.5 rupees in retail and 56 rupees per square feet fabrication cost for project business. Shobhita.
टोटल कॉस्ट जो हमने अभी तक देखा, फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट हमारे आगे रिटेल के लिए 46 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट और प्रोजेक्ट के लिए 23 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट। ओवरहेड्स हमारे आगे 19 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट रिटेल के लिए और 10 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। फैब्रिकेशन कॉस्ट, फैब्रिकेशन लॉस 10 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट रिटेल के लिए और 6.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। एनपीएस हमारे आगे 10 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट रिटेल्स के लिए और 6.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। फाइनेंस स्टॉक 4 फॉर रिटेल and 2 for project. Finance outstanding 7 for retail and 6 for project. Depreciation आपका 3.5 रिटेल के लिए और 2.5 प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। तो हमारा टोटल बैठा रिटेल में 99.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट और प्रोजेक्ट में 56.5 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट। और इस कॉस्ट में ना हमारा मटेरियल कॉस्ट आ रहा है, ना हमारा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट आ रहा है, ना हमारा इंस्टॉलेशन कॉस्ट आ रहा है। तो इन कॉस्ट को हटा के ये हमारा एडिशनल कॉस्ट है जो हमारे प्रोडक्ट प्राइस में ऐड होना चाहिए। ओवर टू यू सर।
Is it not damn high? And are we actually really able to achieve it? And now it's of course up to everyone to relook. Maybe my loss is less, or I have 100% collection, or I don't need to finance because my company is cash rich. Then of course everyone can reduce, can take it out everywhere, but don't take it out where you actually need it. Where you need it, don't take it out because the cost is going to be there. And now my question, what I always have to the owners, where is your salary calculated? And now the question what we are getting from the audience, customer don't want to pay more, others are even charging less, which costing I will not get any order. With this costing I will not get any order. And let's start the discussion. Manish, I would like to hand over to you that you summarize from your experience what are actually those cost parameters, where you think where we can add or where we have to add or where we can take some of the costs out. What is your opinion? And then in the chat, along with the audience, we can see to which figure ideally we should arrive. Manish, please to you.
Thank you, Mario, and a great explanation from you and Shobhita. So just to add, you have beautifully described the costing and how it should be. I guess if it is done this way, no business owner would make a loss and every cost should be covered. I have few points which I would like you all to understand and take into account, and which I have experienced over the years when I see some manufacturers not taking that into account. Like Mario said, during fabrication cost. So have you ever thought about that when you put a hardware, you buy a handle, you buy something, and it gets broken during your production or at site? Do you have ever thought about of putting your wastages into play, that there can be wastages on account of hardware which is broken during production, during dispatch, or at site, which you will have to change. The basic question arises is wastages. There is hardware, then there is glass. Have you ever thought about that while you're fitting the glass in your factory and the glass processor has delivered you a toughened glass, it gets broken? Have you considered that cost? The glass gets broken during the dispatch. The glass gets broken during the installation at site. And are there any wastages calculated for glass? Have we really considered that the glass can get broken and we have to consider X percentage for that? Also, for some of the glasses, when we do retail or when we do projects, there are special coated glasses. There is colored glasses, there are reflective glasses, and there are very, very high wastages on account of glasses. Have you ever thought about it? Because you take a price from Saint-Gobain or from Asai or from your glass processor, you just put it in your costing, you take an order, and then when you really realize that what is going to happen, one very strange thing happens. For some people who are more technical, what they do is, supposedly it's a 100 apartment project, and they would give the complete glass requirement to Saint-Gobain for calculation of yield calculation. But do you actually get the windows in the same fashion? If there is, say, about 100 apartments and 10 windows each apartment, say about 1,000 windows. So do you get the same combination of the windows always to keep your wastages of the glass controlled? No, you don't. So you have to build wastages during the calculation of the project. Also, during the calculation of the profile wastages, do you actually know that there's so much of the windows are actually made out of profiles wherein the wastage of the profile can go up to 15%, because the offcut of the profile is so big that you cannot utilize it elsewhere, and also you cannot optimize the profiles. And people who, especially who do retail, they don't know what the order is going to be, what size will it be, and you guys cannot go to the profile manufacturer and tell them to give you a customized profile. Whereas there is an option to do customized profiles with some profile manufacturers, which can bring your costing down. And also you can save the environment because you will be wasting less of the profile. And then the last point on the wastage is what I want to put is the installation material. Have you ever considered that fasteners, silicone, packers, whacker rods, PO forms, they get wasted, they get mishandled, they get lost at site? Have you ever built those contingencies in your costing? So what I'm talking about, to summarize the wastage part along with what our president, Mr. Mario, has mentioned, is glass wastages, hardware, profile, and installation. You have to build in these wastages into your costing so that you are able to get what you really want for. Otherwise, what will happen? Your balance sheet, you will always see a hole in it, and you will not realize what you do. You will think you're making profit, but you will not be making profit. Moving on. Matthew, can you change the slide, please? The discussion. So I want to discuss, which I have normally discussed during a lot of my discussions face-to-face with you. How many would, just think it yourself, how many of you would really be comfortable installing your own UPVC doors and windows at their own residence? And I got a very, very bleak answer when I discussed then face-to-face meetings. Only 1 or 2 hands went up in an audience of 200 to 300 audience. So what I want to say is, guys, please start saying no. Customer don't want to pay more. What is the normal question? Ki customer to zyada price dena nahi chahta hai. But do you actually want to do that? Have you ever compared a quote? In my experience, the quotation what the customer has or our colleagues, our fellow colleagues give, there's always a difference. So for you to actually compete at the right parameter, what I would recommend you to do is, in addition to all the costing what we have discussed, is to compare the quote with the consumer, to explain him that what is right and what is wrong. The moment you will be able to compare the quote, you will be able to understand that what are you giving and what is someone else is giving, because there's a lot of specification issue. What profile you have chosen, Sometimes there is a bigger window and you choose a smaller profile, or vice versa. There are so many points to it. Normally in a quote, when customer doesn't want to pay more, you have to check, is the installation cost included? Is the GST cost included? Is the glass cost included? Because everyone quotes on a different platform. So that really matters. Then we say that the other customers are, the other fabricators or manufacturers are charging less. Because the point is, if you are doing the right calculation and the other person is not doing the right calculation, then of course the price difference will be there, because the wastages, as Mario said, depreciation, finance costs. I'm very sure 80% of the audience of now over here would not be thinking about depreciation, not thinking about finance costs, but these are very important. So guys, you have to understand, when you think of a project, you have to think about your finances. If you're talking about 100 apartments, so that does not mean that the developer is going to finance you. Already we know that real estate market is in a crunch and they're in a real fix right now. But in the correct times also, when you have to do a project, you have to invest. So what is really important is to imagine the delays in the payment, imagine and calculate the stock required to furnish a 100 apartment or a 200 or a 1000 apartment project or a small villa. Do you actually have that kind of finances available? If you have, you're more than welcome to be in the competition. But if you're not in the position to finance a project, please don't do it. Because what will happen is your payment will get stuck, because you will not be able to supply, the developer will not pay you, and what will happen is you will not be able to buy the raw materials and the project will get stuck. What will happen? A situation like this. Nothing will move. So guys, please start saying no. This is the biggest word I've been advocating in all the platforms. Then comes the most important point, what we were discussing is like the glass. I see many of the people get stuck with the glass issue. They have not mentioned it on their quotations. They have not communicated it to their consumers that glass carries no warranty. I see a lot of the time, the glass is installed and you have a handover and you move out of that property, and when you have to take your final payment, the consumer says the glass is broken. But guys, you have to explain your customer. You have to explain, you have to put it on your quote. The glass carries no warranty. The moment the glass is installed, it has no warranty. But I guess that fails. Also, what is important is the payment terms. I am surprised sometimes there are payment terms that says 50% advance and 50% after installation. My friends, please understand, when the consumer has to pay, I don't say any consumer is wrong. Every individual is correct, with all due respect, but this is human tendency. So when there is a payment to be paid and that payment is huge, you stop liking the product. There are scratches on the window, there are scratches on the glass, there are scratches on the handle. So my request is, please change your payment terms, take a good amount of advance so that you can actually be sure, so that the consumer is not able to cancel the order. If you produce a window without an advance or with a small advance, if the consumer cancels the order, you will not be able to cover the cost of the windows you produced. Secondly is, take good amount of money on on delivery, and take less amount on installation. But for that, you have to be very intelligent enough to manage your payment terms. And more than that, you have to be honest that when you take the payment, you have to install. Because if there are people who will not do that, it will bring a bad name to the industry at large. Then what is important is that when you are actually quoting for your project, do you actually do site visits? I hope, I don't know whether people do it or not, but site visits are very important. So when you do a site visit, you actually get to know what cost you have to involve. Supposingly you're doing an apartment on 20th floor, do you calculate loading and unloading cost? And when you don't, and you pick up an order, so what happens later on? The consumer says, it's an order, I will not give you anything. And I guess in the cost of loading and unloading itself, you get directly, your profit gets hit. So these are some of the points which I think everyone has to think about. Mario, would you like to add some points on these, and then I can move on to the question and answer round?
Manish, thank you so much. All perfectly well covered. As we know, since we are since ages in the industry, it is like this. On the end, if I don't calculate it, I'll go on a very, very risk. And then this risk can lead me and my consumer also in trouble. And that's why it is important to know it. I want only for a last time to go back to this slide. Again, if you don't need the finance in stock because it was your own capital, you have sufficient of it, take it out. Depreciation, you have to do. Fabrication, you have to do. What was my initial slide? Also be important to know how many days you are actually working in a year, because these are the days where you are making your revenue. You are making your revenue only when you make a bill towards your customer. And it is just these many days where you are paying these days. And in overall, again, in the open debate, I would also like to get the feedback with 20 people in retail. Are we able to make more than 10,000 square feet all the time? Maybe in 1 month, I'll make even in retail 15,000. In the other month, very complicated windows, I stuck up at 6,000 or 7,000. And in project, am I really able to make more than 19,000, 20,000 square feet with my team of 20 people? This would be some kind of feedback which we can get from the audience. And otherwise, important is, again, it is only a guideline. We are not a cartel. We are not fixing any price. We are not demanding that this is the minimum charges. It is only based of our experience, which we are here in the industry and as an association, and along with our associated members from the supply chain, we know how many people are coming in and we know how many people are winding up, and they are winding up only because of all the same reason. Manish, hand over to you. Let's see what is there in the question and answer session, and I would be happy to contribute there as well.
Thank you, Mario. So we have one question which I just mentioned here. Someone says that during tender specification, there is no change of payment terms. So my friends, there is the payment terms which are always mentioned in the tender document. But of course, you can go back to the developer or you can go back to the tender issuing authority and you can discuss and you can try and find out that how would it be possible to actually come on to a mutually agreeable payment term. Then we have another question. This one is for you, Mario. How many labor hours we should consider per labor day?
So what I just said, 20, that is the average industry size. When you start your business, don't start with more than 10 people. How much orders are with you? The moment you can forecast, of course, you can't make in retail more than this 10,000 square feet, on project more than 20,000 square feet notice. Today you sign an order of 50,000 square feet. Are you capable of doing this? What is my time given for the order execution? This, again, an advice to all the newcomers: don't start with something really big. You will not be able, especially when we have startups, if there's a strong industry behind and you can finance it for a couple of years, and this is already inside your business modeling, inside your business plan, no problem. Everyone can experiment on their own risk. But whoever comes freshly in, start with a small size. Start also with multiple projects, that you are not stuck up in a single line, so that you have a lot of steps, feet where you are actually standing on the ground.
Thank you, Mario. There's next question. I will take this question. It says that what are the practical payment terms recommended for a retail project? And guys, see, I am a business owner myself. My payment terms are 50% advance and 50% before dispatch, because we believe in a retail segment, the payment terms get stuck because of various reasons. So the best ideal solution is 50% advance and 50% before dispatch. In some cases, you can talk to the consumer or talk about 5 to 10% after installation. Or if you're able to do it, like in some cases we are able to get, you can take a post-dated check that with a letter issued that the check will be deposited after confirmation of the installation. At least you have money in hand.
I would like to add on one thing. I would like to add on one point. Of course, you are running the business on your own risk. Don't go against the feeling of your tummy. When you have a bad feeling, stick out. We only know in our industry, because we are not making the on-site fabrication at all. The problem is our quotation reaches and the customer say, oh my God, it is so high. But we know that till date in India, actually no one knows what is my actual cost of wooden windows. I buy some wood blocks, then after some time I buy some more wood blocks, then I'm giving it for polishing, then I buy the glass, I buy everything in stages. But to come back to the payment terms, when our product is ready to ship out, your investment is 100% completed. You don't have to do anything more except the installation. So that's why you have to be honest to yourself, how much you are able to give, how much you are knowing the person with whom you are actually dealing, and knowing yourself the moment you ship out, your investment is 100% completed, except the installation cost. Play with the installation cost, ask for the material, and say the installation cost should be charged once the real handing over is done. But the product, when it's completed, there's absolutely no harm to ask for this money.
I would just like to add again onto this. As an industry, we should try and move towards 50% advance and 50% before dispatch. Some money, if possible, can be left after installation, because we as business owners have seen when the money is to be taken after installation, it's a lot of challenge. So if you're able to achieve 50% advance and 50% before dispatch, is very good. Otherwise, just try and work it out the best closest possible it could be.
Yeah, but I think I would like to add one thing, just like to add one thing to this particular payment term subject, is that you buy an air conditioner or a fridge or a consumable or whatever else you buy. I don't know of anybody who will give you credit. You buy on Big Basket or Amazon or everything. Why they are able to succeed very well? Because they're not really worried about payment terms. So having said that, I think it's just a question of thinking here that, you know, that is the norm. The new norm, or rather the correct norm, should be to able to take your money as you deliver your goods. And of course, the issue remains the same. Why don't you treat this business as a product which a customer should pay you 100% on the time of your delivery and whatever as part of the delivery, so as to making sure that if you're free from that risk ke wo paisa nahi aayega karke, then you can work a little bit better. I know it's a mindset issue, but as an industry, all of us, the manufacturers, if we all follow the same norm of terms, then there is no debate on the subject. It will take time, but it's all a mindset. The moment you tell a customer, sir, koi baat nahi, dekh lenge, as soon as you say dekh lenge, that is 10% to 90%. Then it's a playing matter. Manish, you want to add something?
You're absolutely right. But you will be surprised. I'll just share 2 minutes on this. When I started this business, I started with 30% advance, 60% after delivery, 10% after installation. You will be surprised. I had few crores under the 10% category, wherein it was that the consumer used to say there is a very small scratch on the glass and I don't want to do it, and the handle, and there's so many things. Gradually, we shifted from going up and up and up. We reached 50% advance and 50% on delivery. And you will be surprised, Amit, that those 50% on delivery also situation used to arrive where then customer used to say, start the installation, otherwise I will get it done from others. And you know, all those tactics and everything. Then we changed it to 50% advance and 50% against before dispatch, against checks. The checks used to get dishonored. So then finally we changed the statement and we said 50% advance, and 50% before dispatch, the money has to be credited to our account. Simple as that.
Perfect.
So,
perfect.
Guys, I guess everyone needs to think about it and how they are able to achieve the best closest possible to this.
I also want to add that you can negotiate on the best price possible, but don't negotiate on the payment terms.
Correct. Absolutely.
Make lesser margin, make more margin, but don't, because if you don't get your 50%, screw the margin, dude, you've lost the money.
Correct.
And then I think it's ideally, but then again, everybody, this should be an industry norm, like air conditioners, they write CE rating, this rating, that rating. I think over a period of time, especially with projects, well, it would be a challenge to be able to tell the developer, sorry, pure paise do, fir kaam karega. It will be a challenge, but I think if it gets to be one, then it's possible.
I am sorry, Amit. We as an organization have started saying so. I'll just share, this is a very important, I think, for everyone. What as an organization we used to do is, we used to take say about 20-30% of advance, some part of the money on this delivery, and some part on the installation. From the last year, wherein the whole industry is going through a financial problem, what we have told the developer is, boss, you don't talk about 10-20% advance. Let's do one thing. Supposingly it's a 10 crore rupee order, and you're talking about, they are say about 10 towers. So there's about a crore per tower. So what we tell the developer is, boss, you give me 50 lakhs advance. Let me produce the material. You give me balance 50 lakhs. Let me complete one tower. So once tower is completed, then we shift to second, then we shift to third. So the shift is happening. Don't think about advance. And you know, more than the advance, Amit, the problem with the, sorry my friends about this, but some of the people, they try and siphon off the money when the advance is paid. So during the project, when that money is needed, so then that creates a problem. So when the money is not siphoned off, the project works fine. So yeah, there are some ways how we can come over this issue. So Amit, let's take the next. Yeah, come on. Sorry.
Next point
No,
on the
go
question.
on. Manish, over to you for the questions. I lost a little bit in the
Sorry. Mario, this one is for you. This says, what is the best way to salvage error measured windows after not being installed at site?
Our corners are welded, so but is our big advantage, and at the same time, in this case, you have to see it. The moment a mullion is welded inside, this is almost a no-go. For a slider, yeah, it's still okay. I think it's okay as long as the window becomes smaller, everything is fine. The moment the window is becoming gone, see it, and then also evaluate. Don't spend 10,000 rupees for saving 5,000 rupees. This is also very, very important. When you make something, it has to look new. On your measurement mistake, the customer has done absolutely nothing wrong. He deserves to have a new product. So in there, don't make the hit and trials to get it done over there. Or take the material back, make a new window, take it back, and then see in your factory, cut it in smaller pieces, and then use it for some other project. But assure that the material is new and the customer is going to get a fresh product.
All right. This one is interesting, Mario, and I want you to answer, and I'll also add in between. There's a customer who says that what is really the steps we should follow after taking an order till the production in terms of approvals and information being given to customers. So can you elaborate a bit wherein the customer does not say no? Because there are many times, Mario, you must have felt that you deliver a window to the consumer and the consumer says, I did not order this window. I ordered something else. How will you safeguard your skin under such circumstances? What will you do? What are the processes in place?
The first important thing is, which the industry in total is also not following, start with a signature. Don't start with the advanced check. It doesn't mean anything. Start with the signature. What I often tell always to my team, any mobile connection for maybe 500, 800, 1,000 rupees bill in a month, how many pages we have to sign. And here we are talking for an investment which is usually up of lakhs. You get the page signed. Further to that, for the specification, if you have the capability, you make proper AutoCAD drawings, which are showing on the left hand, it is this lock, then there is the pop-up handle. Pop-up handle looks like this. Then here, this lock is coming. Or you make the sample board, take it to the site, get it signed, so that on the end, there is no surprise. Oh my God, does it look like this? I was expecting something different. It is very important. Also similar to the design. Yes, there is a hurricane part, there is a mullion in between. Whatever is there on the design, explain it and again get it signed. It is sometimes very difficult in retail. Later on, when there is a debate, then you have to still look for a compromise. But it is very important to make really the customer understand. Go there with two teams, usually send your salesperson along with your site supervisor, so that the salesperson, he knows each and every position personally because he went through the project till signing the deal. Plus the site supervisor, he has the technical expertise. He will be forced that, can I shift the material? Oh, there's a false ceiling coming. Can I make it correctly in? All these points need to be really discussed and then countersigned. And even you go back and come back in another day in case there is something where you have to work it out, but not just the advanced check is not the go ahead for your product. You are going to lead nowhere in case the customer is expecting something else, what you have actually delivered.
Great. The next question over here is, and I'll answer this question, Mario. It says, in a project, what is recommended? Is it recommended to install windows facade-wise? Or is it recommended to install windows flat-wise? And I'm reading this question and I'm smiling. So guys, the answer to this question is that the moment you install facade wise, the windows get a problem. They get problem during the handover, because what happens is the windows get destroyed when there is a lot of labor movement. So thus we would recommend you to produce flat-wise, deliver flat-wise, hand over flat-wise, and means install flat-wise and hand over it to the consumer flat-wise, so that no door and window is left out, no door and window is having any problem, and no door and window is actually damaged by some laborers working at site for handover purposes. So then we have another question is that some people talk about, Mario, that we have not covered installation cost. So can you elaborate a little bit on installation cost, that what all installation materials are needed, approximately how should it be covered for retail, for projects, how should it be different? Over to you, Mario.
Even in my organization, this is the business vertical which runs every year in loss. It runs in a way that we have to see what is really the site condition. If I can ideally go install everything in one go, hand over and move out, this is what we are looking for. We are coming to the site, scaffolding is blocking, out of 10 openings, 8 are ready, then one tile has broken or something has to be refixed. We can install everything except the mesh. We can install everything except the handle. We can install everything except the glasses. There are multiple ways, and this is very problematic. My point is, as I spoke even in an initial video, in Europe, Germany, when I have a retrofit, I have to remove the old window, I have to put the new window inside, I have to plaster, and I have to put the window trim. The cost of installation is equal to the cost of the window. Equal. 50% window, 50% installation cost. And here in India, I think as of now, we could not reach more than maybe 10%, 15%, 5%, depends on. It is really a trade, because we are entering a site, we are producing, we are manufacturing, we are like a car industry producing something, and reaching to a site which is usually, I don't want to say unorganized, but needs to still to improve the entire process and valuing each other's time. So this evaluation of each other's time, there we unfortunately we haven't reached anywhere, and I also could not make any landmark on this, because then you are just out of the business. But we really have to see for the future, multiple site visits should be paid, even when they are saying it's just a technician, but for an extra large class, you reach there with 10 people, and they're saying, oh my God, sorry, today we don't have power, or whatever, it's not there, and 10 people have went for 20, 30 kilometers, day is lost, I can't utilize them really elsewhere. Also this installation is overall and still in very, very unorganized segment.
Thank you, Mario. Just to add in this is from my own experience for projects. Normally what happens is there is a payment term scheduled according to the stages. So there is an advance, there is payment term which is against delivery, there is payment term which is against installation, and then there is a payment term which is against handover and retention. So what I feel and what I see is people get stuck is in installation, because you go and install a window, but you are not able to do the silicon. That is because of the site condition. Yes, so you are not allowed, or you are not able to do the silicon because of the site conditions. There is debris at site, there is plaster, there are so many things. And also at the same time, you cannot install the handle, because either one, you will install the handle, it will get damaged and you will have to replace it, or the consumer doesn't want it. Due to silicon and handle not being installed, what happens is your money against installation is not released. You're always stuck. And installation of handle and silicon is done during handover. So your payment terms gets clubbed up with the installation and handover. So guys, what I recommend is start taking payment terms, X% advance, X on delivery, X on installation without silicon and handle. You should write it down in the bracket without silicon and handle, and handover with silicon and handle, because silicon and handle is a part of handover. Because the moment you do a silicon, it is final, alignment is done, everything is done, handle is put, and it is ready for handover. So it should be along with the handover. So this is just one point to it. I guess, Mario, we are done here. Do you want to add something? Otherwise, we have been able to
Perfect,
impart
fine.
the
Also,
knowledge.
for Saturday afternoon, we are really happy having this much of an audience. Again, from the members, everyone can of course request us. We are sharing the PPP. All the non-members, please become UTMA members. Then we are also going to share the PPP in detail. Overall, we know again everyone is running the business on their own risk, but UTMA is always there to guide. UTMA is always there to give you advices, and we are always open. Shobhita is there, Ankit is there. We are there together as a working team, and there is no one who will be left out who comes with an honest approach towards UTMA. Amit, you can maybe make some closing notes from your side. I'm really happy where it went.
Well, thanks, Mario. Thank you, everybody, for joining on the Saturday afternoon. I want to just share with you that the UDMA site is fully functional. You can go to udmaindia.org. You can add to your membership. There is a webinar column over there. So if you want to attend webinars or in the next months, whatever there will be, we'll keep updating you on the same. Till then, enjoy your Saturday and Sunday or whatever it is, and keep working. And my prediction, end of July, this corona shit is over. We'll all be back to normal. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Manish.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Take care.
Shobhita.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.